Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Majora's Mask.
There's a heart in there.
I believe you have everything you need in order to get in that room. Go up that ramp kind of in front of you, behind you. That stairway. Ramp, stairway. It's all the same thing in low poly 3D games.
That was an attack.
I wonder, can you roll with him?
Yep.
Can you break them when you roll? Okay, there
we go.
You like how it makes the metal sound when you use the boomerang fins?
I know what I'm supposed to do.
Yep.
Yes, I do. Like that sound.
That's such a staple of old games too, that just they have like one generic sound effect for any kind of collision. So an interesting tidbit that I'm pretty sure is different in this game from the 3DS version.
Oh, but I didn't get this thing. I just got over under here.
Oh, maybe it's not that switch. Maybe it's that switch that was on the floor behind those barrels.
Let me find it.
So an interesting tidbit about the difference, though, with the Zora between the 3DS version and this, is that in the 3DS version, I believe your fins will just go through everything. I think they decided to disable the colliders on them so that instead of your fins bouncing off of everything, it just goes through everything and hits whatever it needs to hit.
I hate timed switches. No.
Time switches are good and bad. Do you hate it just because it's challenging, or?
I don't see the point. Other than to just make you run faster.
Yeah, I mean, right now the point is pretty arbitrary. If I were to guess, it's...
oh, know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna put a barrel on top of it. Can I pick these up?
Maybe with the Goron. I don't know if it'll let you, though. Yeah, it doesn't look like it. That actually would have been pretty clever. I would have been happy with that had they allowed you to do that. I wonder if the reason why they have the time game here, where there's basically no consequence to failure, I wonder if it's to, like, get you used to running around in the Zora state? I feel like that's not very strong reasoning. Oh, yeah, there you go. Bam. Like a pro. Maybe that's actually what you're supposed to do.
Okay, so I guess in that instance, it wasn't too bad because I was able to come up with a solution that didn't involve just go faster, you idiot.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, here it seems a little arbitrary, if only because there's nothing dangerous. I mean, other than, I guess, the mines in the water, but the likelihood of you falling in the water is pretty slim. But, I don't know, maybe that's just me. But the reason I bring up the thing about the... oh, nice, you hit it. On the ricochet. The interesting thing about the fin boomerangs going through things is that it totally changes the...
yes!
It totally changes the balance of the game.
The fin array?
Yeah, because I bet you they changed it in the 3DS version because it made things too difficult in the original game. Because sometimes...
Wait, what do you mean?
Like, it would be very hard to hit things, so...
hit things with...
the fin boomerangs. So, like, what you just saw was pretty easy. Like, I don't think it was for reasons... I don't think that's a good example, but I think there are things later on, particularly in the water temple, that will be just way too difficult to hit with your fin boomerangs because they'll just bounce off of the walls nearby. And since they don't move in a straight line, it's really hard to aim with them, if that makes sense.
The fin boomerangs?
Yeah.
They move in a...
No, they move in a curve.
Yeah, but they go to the target. I didn't have to, like, alter for the curve.
Well, right, but as soon as there are obstacles in the way, then they are gonna bounce off of other things, you know?
God, just stay still.
Point of the matter is, in the 3DS version, the fact that they go through things actually broke other things and ended up making the game too easy in a lot of parts.
Stop doing the animation! What the fuck?
What?
Oh my god, this is so obnoxious.
So does he take a step forward? Oh, it's because you have to punch in order to do it.
Yeah,
right?
so he takes a step forward, and God, every freaking time, I'm so annoyed with this. I'm annoyed that it redoes the animation, but yeah, see, he falls off of it.
Yeah, it is annoying.
Oh well, I guess I got it anyway.
Yep.
Stop it!
Yeah, I don't really understand why they did that in these games either, because like, it makes sense the first time, right? When it's like, okay, you need to see where it's going.
Guess what? I get to do that all over again.
Oh. I think you want to be on that water platform before you hit that switch.
I can't. Because that's why.
Does it change immediately?
Oh, I guess not.
So I think the timer starts even while you're on it, which is also kind of silly.
Well, that didn't work either because he took a step forward. Yay!
Yay! Zelda water temple mechanics.
I wouldn't even just say water temple mechanics. I would just say this game mechanics.
Man, he really does lunge forward on that. And it's so silly that this is all in this little spot too, where it's like, why is this so
inconsequential?
Yeah, like why is this so challenging? There's no reason that this should be as challenging as it is.
And why can't he jump into the water stream?
Yeah, I don't know. I think that's more important later on when we're actually in the water temple, because having that resistance becomes important. I can't remember in Ocarina of Time whether or not you could just run into the stream, but I feel like you could if you did it right, at least. But it's been quite a while since I've played Ocarina of Time.
Yeah, me too.
Did you ever play the Ocarina of Time Master's Quest?
No.
It was a really interesting...
Ooh, what's
Whoa.
this?
It was an interesting modification of the game. Oh, it's a telescope. I wonder...
This is definitely making me think of Wind Waker.
Oh, wow. I never thought to draw that comparison, but I guess that is kind of similar. Was this the game that they introduced telescopes? Because I can't think of any other Zelda game other than Wind Waker that had it.
It's been too long since I've played an older one, so...
I mean, I guess they wouldn't have been able to introduce it any sooner than Ocarina of Time, since it doesn't really make sense in a 2D game.
Oh, there we go. So that's what I was supposed to be looking at.
Oh, jeez. It's like no indication of that. Although I bet you anything, you didn't actually need to look at that in order to get up there. I bet you it's just because nothing changed.
I probably didn't have to look in this at all.
No. It's not like the first telescope where we had to look at the...
What the what?
Those are mines. So just shoot them with your fin boomerangs.
Let me solve some of the puzzles.
Oh, sorry.
Or not. Nope. Unless I'm supposed to blow them up. Pew!
Bam.
I'll just do these for good measure. Pow!
I always hated this room. Even in the 3DS version,
apparently
it's...
those don't want to. Oh well.
It's probably because they didn't touch. That's the interesting thing with the mines.
Oh, that's how it works?
Yeah, two of them have to touch each other.
Where the hell is that door?
I think it's just straight down.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna wait up here until I have to hit that again. Unless it just doesn't.
There actually is a chance that it doesn't. I don't remember if there's any indication on those things whether or not it'll...
Yeah, I can't tell if there's like a clicking or a ticking clock sound going on because we have the volume too low.
Yeah. I feel like they should have had some sort of visual indication on those little things too, just so that we could see whether or not it is timed. So like if it were blue, then it would always be timed, but if it were gold like that or yellow, then maybe it's just a switch. I think that was the way you just came from.
Well, there was nothing else there.
No, there was.
You're right.
There was a way around the building to get to another area.
I didn't see it. I must have missed it.
Well, that's okay. That's all for this episode anyway.
See you in the archives.
See you in the archives.
I just killed a fish. Bonefish.
He had it coming.
Hey, you!
It's about time you got caught by them.
Where do they put me?
They just throw you over the wall.
Oh. Well, okay.
It's kind of silly. Yeah, I guess that's the easy way out.
Wind Waker, as a quick recap, Wind Waker seems to draw a lot from this game, and it's specifically this part, you know, where you have to hide when you're in the forbidden whatever.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah.
And you have to sneak around, and if you get caught, you get thrown in jail, and then there's also the telescope going on here, so it seems like this whole area is just reminding me a lot of Wind Waker.
Yeah, I bet you this is exactly what inspired Wind Waker, actually. I bet they designed the water area for Majora's Mask, and whatever designer, or whatever, maybe the lead designer was so, like, infatuated with this whole Gerudo thing that they were like, let's have more of this in the next game. And so they decided to go crazy with it. But no, that's cool. I agree. I didn't even consider that there were so many parallels.
This guy just wants to peek at the girls.
This is the guy I was talking about in the last episode that was like, there's going to be some Zora out there being like, I want to get a look at some of those lady pirates.
That's what he was just doing. He's like...
There's even a guy on the island, like off the beach, that's like, hey, if you bring me a picture of one of them lady pirates, I'll give you this thing.
Oh, well, I'll have to take some photos. Next time, though.
All right, for real. Next time in the archives.
Later.
Bye.